Hello everyone, Pam here with Tattered Paper and Lace, and we're here again today for hashtag ABC April 2025, and we are on the April 16th, and the letter for today is in. And I wanted to show you some little notebooks that make great little inserts for your journals to go in a pocket, on a page, or whatever. And we're going to use packaging materials, package materials to do this. And I normally call these my scrappy pads, but I'm calling them scrappy notepads today to cover the letter N, because that's really what they are notepads. And all of these things you see here, all of this is some sort of packaging, product packaging. And that's what I'm going to use to make this. Where's the... Oh, here it is. This is the one I want to put together. So that's what all of this is product packaging. Most of it is, like these are crafting items, okay? And this one was also a sort of, could be for crafting, but it is, it is a crafting sort. You'll notice these are doubled like this. This one is not, and that's okay. And also we have this, and this is a fragrance sachet from Paper Studio. So it has the fragrance, and it's a tag pouch. So I have cut that apart, and we're going to make a scrappy notepad out of this. So let's get started. You'll need your packaging toppers or whatever you can find. You will need some papers to use as notepad papers. You also will need, if you want, is I also have a book page here that I'm going to use, and also some paper that's used to wrap packages inside so they don't rattle and break or whatever, and some book pages. So just whatever papers you happen to have, grab them. They don't have to even be squared. As a matter of fact, I call them scrappy notepads because they're not squared. And I'm going to do this one first. So all you have to do is we'll take, and it doesn't matter, I only care if the front side can be written on, because the back side could have writing or not. It doesn't really matter. So I'm going to start with this, and I generally want to call them scrappy because I will just tear down the sides and get an approximation of how wide this item is that I'm using, and however long I want it to be. So we're going to make this one be kind of long. Save this. Let's put another piece of something. Here I have a piece of scrapbooking paper that is in a color family that will work. And let's just tear that, and we'll tear that on both sides. Excuse me, not inside, but you know how to tear paper, so it really doesn't matter. And the other thing I like to do is I don't want them to be even. I want them to be scrappy. And also, I want to make the last page longer than the next page. And then I want to make the next page, let's use this. I want the next page to be shorter than this page. So we'll just figure out a little piece here, about right here. And it's a guesstimation. It doesn't matter. That's why they're scrappy. It's just, it doesn't matter if they're perfect. It's actually, you don't want them to be perfect. That's hence the reason they're scrappy. And then we're going to take, let's see, how about a piece of this coffee dyed paper here. Let's take a little piece of that. Tear it. You don't have to tear it on all sides if you don't want to. I like to, just because I like the scrappy aspect of it. I'm going to do this one in half, like that. And then what I like to do, so this is 4 pieces on this one, and that's enough. That's, you know, I don't try to make this be like, you know, gonna last forever. It's a quick, short-term, something to put in a pocket in a journal. That's just something they can journal on. And I take my glue and I just glue them together, just because, with a little bit of glue. This one is about the right width, so I also may, depending on the width of each of these, stagger them. And then I just put another piece of glue, a little bit of glue, and then I'll stagger this one like that. And then I'll put another little bit of glue, and I'll stagger this one like this, so that you see all the layers. Then I do that just so that it's staying together while I position it here, and then I'm just going to glue it in this package topper. And so all I'll do here, and you can staple it. I'm going to glue it because I want to sew across it. So I'm going to glue it like so. I'm just going to do it on the end. That makes it a little bit longer. And then just glue this. So I glue each sheet together so that they will stay together, because this is just being glued for now. But I will go and I will stitch right across here. A zigzag or a straight stitch or whatever. Then you have your little hole that you can put a piece of twine, a ribbon, or whatever to pull that out of the pocket. And also, what I sometimes will do is then take a stamp or a stencil and lay it across all of the pages and just stencil very lightly. And stenciling I like to do better than stamping, because, and I want this to, I'm gonna tear this one again because I want this to be more ragged over here. So we just do it like that. And stencil, lightly stencil, and I'll just do it with the brown. Let me get one, let me show you. Get my stencils out real quick. Okay, I didn't think about showing you this, but let me show you how that, which gives it, just adds a little more interest to this pocket. I mean, this scrappy notepad. I need to make that designation because we are talking about notepads today. And then I'll just put this up here, just like that, just over the pages, and very lightly just stencil it a little bit. Over that, and then it shows, the stenciling will show just a little bit. That just gives it a little more interest. You don't have to do that. Nothing says that that has to happen. But it's kind of a nice little addition. It makes it a little more interesting. You could do it with a color if you wanted to. This paper right here already had a little pattern on it, so that just kind of adds to. Again, completely optional. But that is a scrappy pad. Doesn't matter that it doesn't have a back. You can either stick this in a pocket so that these pages are, you know, if you got your pocket like here, if you got this pocket, then you can stick it in the pocket like this and let this hang out over the top. Or you can stick the whole thing in the pocket if you want to. Let that show out the top. Or you can take it and attach it to, let me find one that's not torn. Attach it to the book page and glue this down and attach it to the book page. Real nice addition. So that's a scrappy notepad. And then I'll show you one more, because this one I'm going to make. So you can do the same thing with this, and with this. Now this one doesn't have the fold over, but that's okay. You can still glue this on the front. You can sew across it, you can staple it in, and then you can glue it down to your page. So it doesn't matter if it doesn't have the back. You also can just use a piece of decorative scrapbooking paper, or use this as your topper and do some other papers underneath. The main thing is to make them be different colors, like all of these are brown, but they're different shades of brown to give it a little more interest. On this one, I just cut the sides and the bottom of this pouch. Take the insides out, and I will use these in another project. So I save those usually. The smell has already gone out of these for a long time. I've had these for a long time. But just cut that out, okay? And then just take your paper. Now this you can make a little neater if you'd like. And let's make sure that that's stuck down good, because I don't want that to. Here, yeah, pulling it off is the best. I just don't like that extra piece. So here, I might like this to be a little more neater, if you will. So it won't be as scrappy. So I will just take this, make sure we're all the way up to the top, and I'll just tear that across, and then I will tear it across this way, and you can leave a little border or not. Doesn't really matter. Whatever you feel like doing. And then I still like it torn, not cut, but I will do it with the scissors. I mean, with the ruler, just like that. And you have it a little bit neater. You don't have to do them all that way, but you can do them all that way if you want to. Can do them. You don't have to do them staggered either if you don't want to. So then you just take your other piece, and we'll do the same thing. It's a little thicker. This is from a desk calendar. They had a little area over onto the side, and I used that calendar to coffee dye some paper on. So we have that little piece. Then I also have, just got this at the thrift store the other day. I also have this, which I like because it has the lines on it. So I will just, I think we'll add the little snowflake looking thing on one side just for interest. And we'll make this one be the right size. Just like that. No, I think I'll just have it on down the side, not across the top as well. So I'll just do it here. Just like that. You can have that one on top if you want. And that's 3 sheets. Stick it in there. Close it up. And you'll have another little notepad. Not as scrappy. Let's do one of these. How about this sheet? Yeah, let's do this. Do that one on top. Do that one next. Then we'll do this one. It's not quite as wide, and that's okay. But we'll make it be the same at the bottom. Just like this. And then I'm going to put this on top. So we've got 4 little sheets. You can add more, 4, 6, 8, 10. I just add a few, and I could keep adding. And I also could make them be also scrappy if I wanted to. But I do the same thing. I'm going to see this. It's hanging out. I don't know if you can tell. It's hanging out just a little bit at the bottom. I'm leaving that. I don't care. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to do the same thing and glue these onto this. So we have this eyelet in here, which I can't go past. So I just glue these right up to the top. Just right up here. Push it in as much as you can. You can get it under there just a tiny little bit, but the important thing is to get it straight on this. So it's not going to matter if it doesn't match it up there perfectly. And we're going to do this one. Right across there. Stick it on here. Just like that. Then I'm going to do this one next. Put it right across there. So you're doing it basically the same thing. Just like this. And then we'll do the last one. And this is a great way to use up scrap paper, packaging paper, and the, product packaging paper, and then whatever you call the packing paper that you put inside to hold hold whatever it is. Then we're done with that. So now you can, I'm not going to sew the top of that down because actually I may add a few extra pages to this along the way. Because I could add another one of these. Make it top and bottom. I kind of like that. Let's do that. I just need to tear off. This is why you save the bits, because so I can get a hold of it. Because you can just you can reuse some pieces. So let's do this piece. Stick it in there, and it's a little narrower. I don't care. It's also a little longer. I don't care. That's what makes it be scrappy. This one's less scrappy, but scrappy nonetheless. Use up these little bits and pieces that you have. Use up this product packaging, which I love to use. Okay, so there we have that. I would, again, if I weren't going to sew, I would stitch that down, but I will be sewing right across here, so it will come down. By using the zipper foot, I can get closer to that, and it'll be right across here, and that still works well. If I wanted to get a little more scrappy with it and add more, I could, do this little piece. I could do this little piece and cut it off, at the right place. Let's just do that. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to add it, but you see what I'm saying. So you could do these on top of this, and that makes that even a little more scrappy. And I do like that. So I may just go ahead and add these because I can. So let's just go ahead and add these. This you can't get as thick with because you don't have the play in these opened ones like this. You don't have the play that you would have in one of these, because this isn't going to open up as much because of the nature of its piece. And then let's put this piece across here like that, and I think that'll be enough for this one. And we'll do it like that, and then we'll fold that back over, and then we can stitch across there, and we can still put a ribbon or a piece of twine or something in there to pull it out of the pocket. And then this one has a cover. which I like that. So this is made with the fragrance sachet from Punch Studio. Could be any sachet. I just thought as a tag shape that was kind of cute. The paper is heavy enough to do well. That again, you can just slip into a pocket, glue to a page, or whatever you wanted to do with it, or however you wanted to use it in a journal. And then we have this one, which is a very scrappy piece. And then you could do this one. Where'd my other one go? You've got this one and this one. Now I could go ahead and do this one if you think, because it's a little different. So we can do that. So we've got those. We'll make one more. And let's see what we want to use for this. How about some more book page here? And we'll show you how we have to do this. I'm just going to tear up through here because it was already torn. And make this as wide. Let's make this down like this long. I'm going to make this another really scrappy one. Another book page. So we'll make that on the background. Let's do this piece as one of the front pieces. Let's use this piece as another. I need it to be shorter. I had another. Oh, here we go. This piece. That piece can be up here. This piece can be down here, like that. Put it over the edge, stretch it out as far as you want to make it look cool and interesting. And then we can do a little bit of this here. And see, I don't have these all. I have them positioned where I need for them to be. And they don't all have to be at the top. It's okay if they are. And that one may need to come down a little bit so it has more room to show. But there we are. You can make that be. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sheets of paper. Could add another one of these if you wanted to. Over there. I think we might do that. Let's see. Do I want to add here? And I also have another. Oh, this is cool. This is it. I like this piece. See, that's the back of a desk calendar. So we can put this over here. Let's do this one at this spot because I like the white. Let's do that. I like that. Okay. So we'll just glue all these together in the same fashion. Starting from the back. Yeah, okay. So let's just glue this across here. Put this piece. Do this piece over here, this way. Just whatever direction and so forth seems to be the most interesting is what I'm after here. And then let's do this one this way. Here. I think you get the gist of how this works. And then we can do this one this way. Let's do it like that. Now let's do it like this. Okay. So that's our little pad. And then we have this. We don't have a fold over. It is just a straight piece. And we just can take that and we can put it right at the top if we want to. We can raise it up. I think we'll raise it up a little bit. And I will just put glue right along here. I'm not going to do it around this little circle part. I'm going to do it just like this. Let's get the glue off the edges here. And let's make sure we sort of have that centered. Doesn't have to be perfect. That's good enough. And there you still have, even though you don't have the back part, you still have a scrappy pad. And what I would do with this one is I would definitely glue it down to the page because I don't have a thing on the back. So this would be, let's get our book here. Say this is your journal. I would just glue this in on the page, just like that. But I wouldn't glue the back of it. All I would glue to the page is this part. Just the from the top of the little bit of the top of the paper and the whole back of this, and glue that to the page. So you then, let me pull it out just a little bit. So then you can lift it up. And then underneath there, you could have something, a picture or something that might be interesting to see when you're under there. So that's what I would do with that. And that is my scrappy notepads. So these other pieces will turn into notepads as well. I have this one and one more of these that will also turn into notepads. So we have scrappy ones for vintage journals, and then you can do one not quite as scrappy that's a little bit more pretty, if you will, to put into a little bit more pretty journal. So there, my friends, are my scrappy notepads. I hope you have enjoyed this video and that I gave you some idea that maybe you hadn't seen or hadn't thought of that you can use for product packaging. And I didn't use any of the papers from the packing inside a package, but that can work as well. So anyway, thanks for coming along. I appreciate it. Go to hashtag ABC April 2025 to see what others are doing for the letter N. And if you haven't, if you like this video, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed and would like to see further things from me, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.